Ladies and gentlemen, okay, we just went live, had no audio. Sounds like we should be good now. And the reason we're live streaming this instead of doing a pre-record video is because my voice is still on the edge of being lost. Couldn't talk anymore after the live stream yesterday. So I will talk through these skyrocketing players live for you. And with these skyrocketing players, not every single one of these guys is someone you need to go out there and buy right now. We're going to be talking about some running backs like Breece Hall, Dameon Pierce, that if you didn't buy them a few weeks ago, honestly, you may have lost your chance. The train may have already left the station. Let's talk about how we should be valuing these players now. Maybe if any of them are going to be sell high, guys. But before we get into this video, and please make sure you do this because YouTube is probably going to kill this video in the algorithm now that I messed this up the first time. Go down there, drop a like on the live stream. Helps us out so damn much. Subscribe to the channel as well. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button if you have not done so already. I mean, we're not going to miss a single day of live streaming this season. We've already live streamed for over 100 days in a row. And last but not least, if you want to check out any of these player props, you can find them on Underdog Fantasy. On Underdog Fantasy, with the link in the description, the link in the comment section, they will match your first deposit dollar for dollar with promo code FLOCK. Available in damn near every single state. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Justin Fields. Under 23.5 passing attempts. We literally have included this pretty much every single week. And every single week, the under has hit. So yeah, I'm excited to go through. I'm excited to take that under yet again. I have no idea why Underdog keeps giving it to us. But let's go through. Let's dive into our first guy. You know who he's going to be. You should know who he's going to be. Someone that's been on a buy low running back video for us every single week this season. Our guy, Breece Hall, only getting better and better and better. I mean, if we go through, if we look at what you had this past week, 18 rushing attempts. So if you look at that rushing attempt column, 6, 7, 8, 17, 18, increasing every single week, almost 200 total yards. I cannot be more excited to go through and just continue to talk about Breece Hall here. Now, the main thing that I want to look at, let me pull up my notes here so I can get you the exact numbers, is the fact that we've had him increase his snaps every single week this season. I mean, you are just getting more and more Breece Hall. If we go through and look at what you had week 2, 28%. Week 3, 53% of snaps. Week 4, 65% of snaps. All the way until this past week where you had Breece Hall playing 41 out of 59 snaps for this New York Jets offense, 69% of the snaps here. So if you look at this, this is a running back that was an elite level prospect. We said he was going to take over this backfield sooner rather than later. Imagine. Now, of course, could have, would have, should have. Who the hell cares? It didn't happen. But just imagine. What would have happened if Michael Carter did not score those 2 touchdowns? What would have happened if instead it was our guy, Breece Hall? A man can only dream. That would have been so damn nice. But still, if we are looking at Breece Hall going forward, I think that this is going to be a locked and loaded top 10 running back rest of season. Don't necessarily want to rank him there right now, but he's just going to continue to get better as the season goes on. So you're tired of hearing me talk about Breece Hall. I get it. Let's go on. Next guy, Geno Smith. Now with Geno Smith, I have had so many people out in the live streams every single day coming through and acting as if Geno Smith at this point is a must-start quarterback every single week, as if Geno Smith at this point is someone that you can rely on rest of season as your quarterback one. And I understand why they think that. I mean, if we go through, look at this over the past 2 weeks now, the Seattle Seahawks, 48 points. 32 points. And I think that what is adding salt to the wound of Russell Wilson here is the fact that Geno Smith is outplaying Russell Wilson with the same team where people wanted to blame the lack of success on Wilson. For Wilson on the rest of the Seattle Seahawks roster. They wanted to blame it on the coaching staff. They wanted to blame it on the offensive line. And Geno Smith is saying, hey, it's a fine team. We have everything we need. Give me the ball and we'll take care of business. 5 touchdowns over the past 2 weeks, 7 touchdowns over the past 3 weeks. Like, Geno Smith has been good for Geno Smith. And I think the big Russell Wilson narrative is playing into this a little bit too much, because if we take a step back, everybody who thinks they can start Geno Smith every single week, guys, with Geno Smith having the start of his career, with Geno Smith exceeding everybody's expectations so far, Geno Smith is still behind Cousins, is still behind Matt Ryan, is still behind Carson Wentz with passing yards. I understand why you're excited, but please, at the end of the day, it is Geno Smith. He is not going to be a quarterback that you can start every single week rest of season. In Superflex, yes, congrats if you play in Superflex and you grabbed Geno off the waiver wire. However, in a one quarterback league, not going to be a big deal. But who is a big deal is our guy right here in Rhamondre Stevenson. I mean, you saw this past week, Rhamondre Stevenson, 25 rushing attempts, 161 rushing yards, getting involved as a pass catcher as well. Now, the main reason for this, obviously, is not that Bill Belichick went, okay, I love my running back by committee. I love it, but I'm sorry, guys. Y'all are going to have to deal with me. Dameon Pierce is not getting the job done. Dameon Pierce, you're going to the bench. You're done. No, Dameon Pierce obviously got injured. If you look at the snaps, Dameon Pierce got injured after playing 6 snaps, and then Rhamondre Stevenson took legitimately everything. And I repeat, he took everything afterwards, which is a skill. Like, you should be very excited regarding Rhamondre Stevenson and the fact that he did get every snap. But we have to ask ourselves, is this going to happen going forward? You can say, oh, well, Mason happened this past week. Doesn't mean that, of course. In reality, I think that we need to slow down just a bit here, because they do have Pierre Strong. They do have J.J. Taylor. I don't think that they're going to see nearly as large of roles as what you had with Dameon Pierce. I still think Rhamondre goes from being a 50-50 running back to now being maybe a 75-25 and 80-20 running back. I think Rhamondre Stevenson is a low-end running back 1, high-end running back 2 until we get Dameon Pierce back. But it's not like he's turning into prime CMC getting 100% of the snaps here. Let's go over to our next guy. Hard to skyrocket up rankings, but come on. I want to give him a shout out. Austin Ekeler, weeks 1 through 3. Running back 13. Behind Antonio Gibson. Remember when we were screaming, sell Gibson, sell Gibson. Behind Antonio Gibson. Behind Khalil Herbert. Behind Jamal Williams. Behind Cordell Patterson. Behind James Robinson. Behind Clyde Edwards-Helaire. A lot of people were panicking on Austin Ekeler. And over the past 2 weeks, the man's dropped 71 points. The past 2 weeks, Austin Ekeler has dropped 71 points. Now Austin Ekeler is the running back 1 this season. And if we look at what has changed with Austin Ekeler, has it been his usage where through the first 3 weeks, he averaged about 11 carries a game. He averaged about 7.5 targets a game. And over the past 3 weeks, he averaged 14.5 carries a game. And he averaged about 5.5 targets a game. So honestly, if you were just to look at the opportunity that Austin Ekeler's had in Los Angeles, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. What has changed, the amount of points the Los Angeles Chargers are scoring, where they go from 24, 24, and 10 to 34 and 30, where Austin Ekeler is now getting more trips to the red zone. He's getting more red zone opportunities, equaling more touchdowns. And hell, if you go through, if you score, 5 touchdowns through 2 weeks, obviously that is going to be very exciting. I want to use this as a lesson for everybody, including myself. Let's not overreact with a player that we knew would be a committee running back coming into this season, that the reason you are excited is the elite level offense as well as the usage as a pass catcher. That's exactly what you got here from Austin Ekeler. Let's go down to our next guy. I need to take my L, okay? I'm sorry. I need to give a formal apology to Dameon Pierce, to Dameon Pierce's mother, to Dameon Pierce's father, to Dameon Pierce's entire family, and to anybody in fantasy football that listened to me with Dameon Pierce. Because I looked at this situation and said, okay, well, he's a rookie running back, not catching passes in one of the worst offenses in the NFL. I'm not buying into Davis Mills. I think Davis Mills is bad. Dameon Pierce has crushed it. Dameon Pierce, his snaps so far this season, 29%, 35%, 59%, 70% to this past week, 79%. That is just a straight lineup, not looking to stop anytime soon. Getting more involved as a pass catcher as well. I mean, if we go through and if we look at this, Dameon Pierce through the first 3 weeks had a whopping 4 receptions. He had a whopping 4 targets. 3 weeks, 4 targets. Rex Burkhead getting everything there. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I don't really care about this. Then afterwards, 11 targets through 2. The man's averaging over 5 targets a game now. Dameon Pierce looks like he's locked and loaded. It looks like Dameon Pierce is able to overcome this horrendous Houston Texans offense. And I just owe every Dameon Pierce drafter, every Dameon Pierce fanboy, a humble apology. And our next guy that we probably owe an apology with, actually, not that one, looks like we're a little out of order here, is Josh Jacobs. You know, Jacobs, my most drafted running back in fantasy this year. We are getting him in the 7th round of underdog drafts. Go figure why out of our 150 best ball mania teams right now, we're sitting either first or second in 50 of them. And out of the 450,000 teams that were drafted in the contest, we have 2 teams inside the top 200. Find one person on this planet with better results. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. But anyway, with Jacobs, the man's only 1 month older than Najee Harris, and he's going through, he's giving us that dominance we look for. Thank you, Jacobs. I mean, 2 touchdowns this past week. But more importantly, if we look at the usage, oh, dear God. This is not even including what we had with KC, where we know against Kansas City, he goes out there and he absolutely dominates as well. This is a running back that is turning into a must-start guy every single. Hell, going back to that chart that we had with Austin Ekeler here. The past 2 weeks, Josh Jacobs is sitting there at 2, only behind Austin Ekeler in fantasy points scored. This is sustainable, in my opinion, with Josh Jacobs. Everybody that was telling me, oh, you can't be drafting Josh Jacobs because of Zimmer White, everybody laughing at us. I want to give you this, my friend. I want to give you this. But let's go over to our next guy. This is who I meant to owe the apology for. Taysom Hill. With Taysom Hill, I don't know what to do. Okay. Obviously, he looks like he's a must-start tight end every single week. Okay. If we go through, if we pull up what we've had here with Taysom Hill, the man this past week, 4 total touchdowns, 112 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, a passing touchdown to go along with it. Like, dear God, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am hesitant to say that he's a must-start guy every single week. He probably is. He probably is, right? I do want to give the context, though, that in this game, we had no Winston. We had no Thomas. We had no Olave. Keep in mind, Olave had a concussion early on. And we had no Jarvis Landry. So it was the best performance imaginable. The question is it sustainable? It's going to be much harder to answer. But our last guy, Gabriel Davis. Of course, we got to mention Gabe Davis here. In a game with no Isaiah McKenzie, he takes advantage with only 6 targets. Keep in mind, he's only had 20 targets so far this season. Gabriel Davis, 171 receiving yards, multiple receiving touchdowns. Dear God. Obviously, it helps when you have a 98-yard receiving touchdown. I mean, of course, that is going to help skew these stats. And I know we've had a lot of people asking, oh, should we be going through? Should we be looking to sell Gabriel Davis? In reality, not right now. This week, Gabriel Davis going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. The defense he dropped 200 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns against back in the playoffs. This should be the highest scoring game of the week. You want to start Gabriel Davis this week, and then we can reevaluate the following and see what kind of price we could get for him then. But I think that should be it. Of course, Thank you so much for coming out, hanging out with us in this live stream. And I botched this at the very beginning, accidentally muting my microphone. So if you can try to save us in the algorithm, go down there, drop a like on the video. We are 1 like away from hitting 200 likes on this live stream. And also, please, if you have any questions, I'm going to stick around for about the next 30 minutes down there in the comment section of this video. We have to end it now because I can't be sitting here turning this into a Q&A, but I'll be sitting in the comment section of this video answering all your questions. So if you have any questions, just refresh after I end this live stream. Go back to the video, leave them down there in the comments. I'll be answering as many of those as I possibly can. But thank you again. I truly do appreciate you. I'll be live again later today with sell high wide receivers, and I'll be live after the game tonight answering all your questions. But thank you. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great day, and hope we get to see you in the live stream tonight.